Alright, time for a round 4 game of this month's REV GP. Playing standard Consonance against my opponent who is on some sort of flicker deck. So probably not a good matchup for me. I'd rather prefer mid-range matchups where I don't have, because I can't really do much against my opponent's stack-based stuff. I mean, this hand's reasonable, I'll keep it. What do they have for removal? They have lots of removal, don't they? Yeah, they have a lot of removal. Well, hopefully it won't matter too much, although it probably will, so that's going to be unfortunate for me. But anyways, this is probably just a really bad matchup for me. I can ramp into Drift Off, not sure if that does anything. For a God Cultivator being like a do-nothing card is really bad, I guess. This card's been consistently bad after it got nerfed, so I guess like I'm just supposed to board this thing out in game 2. Oh, discard. Uh, I mean, this card's really bad, so I guess I'll pitch that. Contested Passage can't afford to. Oh, okay, that's good. I can guarantee Wild Court on 2 if I contest its Passage sack, but I should just try to play on curve. If this gets removed, then that sucks. Or, I mean, if this gets removed, I'll just go Contested Passage, Leyline Channels again. If Phoenix's touch gets blinked, I think I need to. What do I need to start pitching? If they don't answer the first Leyline challenge, I can just pitch one the other. I can just pitch the other one and then resolve Wildcard Seeker and then start trying to go off with, or trying to go a distance with it. Although it doesn't really do enough because it's going to make the land exile itself later. So also, yeah, like this is a game where I just drew into all of my nerfed cards and I'm really feeling. Well, that's really scary. I think I actually need to get rid of that. Although Drift Off also just gets answered by removal, which is a problem. Can I do anything about that though? Not really, and I really need this thing dead. Maybe they don't have more removal. What, they have Event Horizon to answer my Drift Off. Well, I mean, again, there's not much I can do right now, so I just do this, and I guess I go Contested Passage. Do I fetch blue with this? I need to fetch green to guarantee I get Wild Court, but I also want to fetch blue so I can play Asahai on curve. I mean, I fetch green to get Wild Court out and then fetch blue afterwards, although it's going to, since this thing returns it tapped, it's going to be 2 turns before I can crack this for an untapped land, or redeploy. Okay, I mean, that's not the worst thing in the world. Yeah, the little other leyline challengers goes. If they don't have removal, I guess I just hardcast Asahai instead of going Wild Court. I mean, that seems better, although problem is that now there's going to be enough permanents on board for Event Horizon to hit Drift Off on the In Search of Peace, which is really bad for me. Okay, they're just going to do that again. Okay, I'll just pitch Wild Court and I'll just try to go the distance with Asahai. Like, I'm just going to assume that the Wild Court plan is going to work out. Actually, I didn't really need to fetch. Oh, Fury Call Helion. Huh. Is this better than. Yeah, it probably is, right? If I play Fury Call, I blow up their Mire, they Event Horizon my Drift Off, they get their In Search of Peace back, and hopefully they don't have any other plays left. I mean, the alternative is Asahai Plus, which also doesn't do enough. Yeah, I'm just going to try to mana screw them. And do I tunnel with this thing? Do they have creatures at all? They don't, so it doesn't matter if I tunnel or not. Yeah, I won't tunnel it because it's going to be annoying to keep track of tunnel stuff if there's no reason to tunnel it. I guess maybe there is a point in tunneling it because then Asahai starts. Is this it? Okay, so if I don't tunnel, then I just never get to tunnel again. Maybe I should have tunneled this thing so then Asahai can start making guys, or can start splitting the guys it makes between the tunnels, and then that might do stuff. I'm not exactly sure what it would do, but that probably does something. I also need to worry about my opponent having. My opponent has board wipes, so I also need to play around that if that ever matters. Redeploy. Oh, okay. Well, there goes Asahai. So now I'm empty-handed and my opponent isn't, which is a problem. I have decent top decks, I guess. Okay, I need to lose life from that too. Oh, I missed a bunch of life loss triggers. Come on. I mean, that's not horrible. I'll save it for when my drift top gets blown up, I guess. Yeah. If I get another land and they don't hand attack me again, I guess this could also just incentivize them to hand attack me instead of trying to play to the board. I'm also in a spot where I don't actually have enough mana for me to have really good top decks. Because if I top deck Constance right now, I can't cast it, and like that's my best top deck, and I can't cast it right now. Is there a way to get more mana? It's either just top decking lands normally, or top decking one of my mana produced wrappers. I mean, I guess Urfrol will be pretty good here, because it just get that thing on board and I just ramp. Okay, well, that happens. Yeah, so this is why I should have tunneled with Furical Helion. I could have forced him to split the jellyfish somewhat. Yeah, so looking back on it, maybe I should have pitched Asahai instead of Wild Court, because Wild Court would have helped me ramp one more, and then that gets me to enough mana where all my top decks are alive. Oh, well, that's really convenient. Overall kills one of the jellies, and then, yeah, and then I guess I swing with Fury Call afterwards. I can't attack with Leyline Challenge because that's just not a good play. In that case, yeah, I just attack with Fury Call first, and see if they block any of them. If they chump one, then that's actually good, because yeah, it gets all the jellyfish off the board, which I'm not sure if it does anything, but it probably does something. Play Ultra. Wait, they can counter this. Let's see if they have to counter spell then. They don't, or if they do, they're not count, or at least they don't have a counter spell. They can counter that. Cool. Do I care if I fetch now? Not really. I can drift off this thing. I'm not sure if it does anything for me if I do. Prevents him from blinking it. Maybe that's useful. I think there's better things to save drift off for, especially since I have like enough mana to kick drift off now. Yeah. So this is always fetching forest here to make sure I have constant mana going into next turn. Okay, that happens. Overall is just going to plus for no benefit next turn, so I can minus it again next turn, and then that gets me a 7th mana source I need for Consonance top decks. Another insertive piece. Okay. I mean, if they still don't have Event Horizons, I can just drift off this thing. Yeah, I guess they get one blink off this thing. So they get to blink Borrow, and then I'll just drift off both Borrow and insertive piece to make. Oh, or they can just discard my last card. Yeah, that also happens. Blink Borrow. Yeah, I guess that's one reason why I shouldn't be keeping cards in hand. I could have drift off a single Borrow. Maybe that was correct. Well, now, I mean, Constance top deck still isn't live, so best possible top deck would be something like Wild Court Seeker wouldn't be too bad. Another Fury Call would be nice, just so that, because it's another really big thing, and it doesn't seem like they have the Wrath in hand just yet. So anyways, come on. Constance top deck, cool. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm 1 mana off a Constance top deck. Yeah, that's unfortunate. I should just keep attacking with Fury Call because that's what I should be doing, and then now they just get to blink Phoenix's touch and never get a hand again, so that's bad. I should have drift off the Borrow so that I could have they didn't have the really good blink target with In Search of Peace. I mean, I can still get out of this. I just need this thing to survive until next turn, and then minus again to get my 7th mana source, and then I can start trying to top deck and resolve Constances. Yeah. Okay, they're just going to block here. Could sack. Wait, so if I top deck a land off Ulferal, I will be able to jam Constance. What counters do they have? They don't have counter spells main. Okay, but this requires Ulferal plus to hit an untap land. If it doesn't hit an untap land, then I'm absolutely screwed. Is that risk worth going for? Wait, they can just start attacking Ulferal and I'll never get to minus it. There's lots of. I mean, I'm just like trying. I guess I'm just making a really high upside play and hoping that it doesn't screw me over later. I guess it's probably worth making the play. Like maybe I get what I need. If I don't get what I need, I'm probably already in a really losing spot, and Ulfro is not going to get any better just sticking around like this. And worst case, at least as long as I don't draw another one of my 7 drops, at least I draw into something I can cast. Even if it's mana dork, which helps my mana slightly. Okay, well, yeah, I guess I'm going for it. Come on, untap land, please. It's a land, but it's not untapped. So yeah, worst case scenario. Oh yeah, I guess I didn't consider worst case of just not having untapped land. Okay, well that's really unfortunate. Yeah. All right, so hopefully they don't discard me, and hopefully they don't. They're just going to do stuff end of turn. Are they like instant speed discarding me now? Okay, cool. They're just Okay, well there goes Consonance number 1. There's still a chance. Let's play the next end. Okay, sure. And they're still floating a discard spell or something like that. Oh, they can just kill Ulfro now. Yeah, I guess that happens. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ironically, I think the best thing to top deck this turn would be a land, because at least that prevents that at least that means I can play out the land, and then that leaves Constance top decks live again. Or they can just do that. Yeah, Blink. Sure. Do I have any outs now? Because now I'm down to 5 mana again, and I actually can't cast Asahai anymore, so that's no longer an out. That's also a dead top deck now. Okay. Come on. I mean, that's better. It's better than nothing, I guess. And I should just be playing out everything I have in my hand because they have instant speed discard. I'm surprised they're actually not going for the instant speed discard because they're drawing off that. Like, insert a piece lets them instant speed, or no, they can use blink spells to instant speed discard me with Phoenix's touch. I'm surprised they're not doing that. Wildscape, sure. They can just keep blinking that. I'm surprised they're blinking that instead of anything else because I don't have cards in hand right now. I'm surprised they're not blinking Boral right now. Like, blinking this thing's pretty free, right? Okay, so, well, what do I need to know for game 2? I need to focus more on ramping than on... Yeah, I need to just focus on ramping because then because once I get to 7 mana, that means I can start top decking, or all my top decks are live, which lets me play around their discard spells by top decking stuff. And slow value, so then prioritizing slow value engines doesn't actually help me here. So, like, I shouldn't be trying to, or I should be discarding Asahai over Wildcard Seeker because it's more likely that Wildcard Seeker actually goes the distance because I need all the extra mana I can get. Lucian's Trail was at, well, there goes, sure. Yeah, I'm back down to 5 mana again. Oh, they're just using that to get rid of all my cards now. Okay, sure. And now they get their other In Search of Peace back, and then okay, I need to remember to lose life off Phoenix's touch. That's not going to do it. Is it? I'm just going to concede here. I'm not getting out of this lock. Like, my deck is just not built to get out of this. Anyways, post board, club promoter, if that doesn't do enough. Wow, my deck's really badly teched against my opponent because, well, mismatch of meta, but also, like, this build doesn't actually have that much enchantment hate. Because my later build, we're running 4 copies of enchantment hate in the board, but this one only runs 2. Does Scratch's Horseman do anything? Not really. In fact, I'm probably not getting enough mana to do anything with that. So bringing the bows, I think, is actually good here because it's a slow value engine that doesn't rely on anything. What do I take out? Silver Sun's, I think Silver Sun's still good, even though I'm probably not going to hit enough mana to cast. Oh wait, right. So I always take out Forgotten Cultivator because that card's just bad now. Maybe a Borean Cassette because I mean that card's just good in general. Braids doesn't do enough. Yeah, what do they bring in post board? They get to bring in counter spells, which is not something I'm looking forward to, but I can't do anything about that. Yeah, I'll keep in one, or I'll bring in one Cassette to take the place of Forgotten Cultivator. Even though Cassette, I guess I'm just going to Cassette minus and then start plussing and hopefully it does stuff. Because Crown Guard Ban is just not going to do anything, right? My opponent's not a deck that Crown Guard Ban is good against. And they can just remove this thing if they really want to start casting stuff. So, yeah. This hand's pretty good. Or as good as I can have for, like, against my opponent's deck. So, green, and then this is fetching white so that I can early drift off, or I can play an early drift off if I need to. Phoenix's Touch is probably going to pitch Grand Consonance, because that's not going to stick in hand for long enough. And lose life. Asahai, that's also getting pitched, right? I need to remember to just pitch my top end so that I can top deck into my top end instead of getting my top end discarded. This might actually need to fetch blue because, well, I guess it depends on whether I connect with. Even if I connect with Star Set, it's not going to do this thing. Or Wildcard brings back New Divide, and that gets me all my colors. Okay. I guess they probably have removal for Star Setted. Like, I have to assume they do, right? No blocks? Okay. Are they, like, doing it now? Nope, they're just letting this through. Okay. But something that is tragic, right? Or actually, they might have. Okay, what could they have right now? Can Wildcard steal from my opponent from your graveyard? No, so I can't steal from my opponent. So yeah, maybe I should have sequenced slightly differently so I could get New Divide so that I can play Steal Excelsior tap this turn, and then I have to deal with New Divide. Because if I want to get Wildcard going, I need to New Divide now, and then I actually don't even have enough land type for Wildcard to be good. Well, I mean, Power Toughness doesn't matter. They have Twilight Ambush, but I doubt they brought in. No, they probably brought in more Twilight Ambushes. Do I want to play around Twilight Ambush? Okay, well, doing New Divide Wildcard gets me access to Asahai next turn, no matter what happens. And then I guess I pitch Studio Excelsior, assuming that, like, if they blink this, I'm pitching Studio Excelsior. If they do stuff again, and then alright, whatever. I think I've thought for long enough. I'll grab Island right now. Just worst case scenario, because worst case, like they counter this, I just pitch Drift off. I mean, actually, it's supposed to be okay. Yeah, cool. And yeah, if they discard me, I guess I'm starting to pitch lands. Although I guess that's the problem with maybe I just put Faith in the top of my deck and just start pitching Asahais still. But, oh, Event Horizon? They can't. Oh, they can't Event Horizon. Okay, sure. That's still fine. That means I get to resolve Asahai next turn. Unless I can, I mean, I can also do Kick Drift off next turn, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Assuming Starset connects. So it's not like, yeah, that happens. I guess I pitch Drift off, like, and then I just resolve Asahai and start going the distance with it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I mean, so if I jam this, am I like still incentivized to discard Tsuyo Excelsior? Yeah, I guess. Like I've already decided that I'm going to be pitching all my. I'm not going to be pitching lands this game because I want to guarantee I can play my top decks. So yeah, I'm going to be pitching my top end instead. And they're stuck on lands. Interesting. Yeah, it can wait. Oh, Fury Call. Well, this can really screw them. This is fetching planes to make sure I can. Well, I don't have big drift off now anymore, but doesn't really matter right now. Star City is going to an island because that, yeah. Well, I guess I can still win if my opponent gets massacred. So good to know that at least. Or, wait, I don't have double red for Fury Call. Okay. Well, I guess I'm forced to jam Asahai instead. Actually, I can't even do the mana correct, or I can't even make best use of my mana because palette colors work out. Do I just go last card and hand Fury Call Helion, or do I just play out everything and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? I mean, no, I play Tsuyo Excelsior to make my Consonance top decks live. Yeah, and if Fury Call gets discarded, then so be it. Asahai will be able to like run away with the game on its own if it goes unanswered. Yeah, that happens. That's fine. Fury Call, but like they're behind on board and they're stuck on mana right now, so I still think I'm in a pretty good spot. Do I want to play around Dreamfall? Does Dreamfall blow up Planeswalkers? It does not. What does blow up Planeswalkers in their deck? I mean, it's just Event Horizon and Friends. Can Lucian's Trail kill No, Lucian's Trail can't kill Planeswalkers. I guess they have Golden Bloom of the Suns. I mean, if they have that thing, that's pretty bad for me. But yeah, I think I should just ask high minus right now so that I can start going for 2-turn lethals. Okay, yeah, I go for Acid High Minus here. And actually, since Contested Patches is out anyways, might as well rack it now, or I guess it doesn't really matter. I'll grab another planes in case stuff comes up. Since they don't have any flying guys, I guess I just give my guys trample, right? Yeah. Okay, cool. That connects. I'll put Equinox Mark here, and I have a million mana and nothing to do with it, but as long as my opponent doesn't draw any answers to my board, they are dead next turn. So game 3 is going to be problematic because I need to win on a draw, and I can win this because my opponent got a horrible draw, and I had Asahai, but like, how am I going to beat them on the draw? Because I'll just Forgotten Cultivator anyways. Is it still worth keeping some number of it in? It's probably still worth than just playing out cassette. And probably still worth than just having cassette here. Maybe Scratch is better than cassette, but how likely is it for me to? It's actually not that unlikely for me to have ancient. So then what? I get hasty Trampley guys, which could get through their jellyfish. I don't think that's worth the risk of this thing getting stuck in my hand. Yeah, I'll just burn this back. Okay, come on. Yeah, I don't think this hand's keepable. Well, they have discard. I really do not want to go down on cards if I can help it. But there's just so many things that can go wrong here, so I guess I just hope for really good top decks. Yeah, like I'll just pitch these top end cards. If they Phoenixes me, I actually will just be pitching my top end cards, and then they don't have turn 1 discard. That's good. I'll take the time to play my tap land this turn. No turn 1 discard is quite good for me. Unfortunately, Late Night Challenge isn't going to be ramping into anything unless I top deck it. But this deck, I mean, I'm relying a lot on top decks anyways, so it doesn't matter. Or I mean, drift off. Do I need to make red mana anytime soon? I need to make white mana. Well, these guys will fetch double white eventually. I think I should just, or do I want to fetch double green right now? I think I should just fetch red because why not? No, I should fetch green. I can always fetch red later once I actually. Now let's just fetch red now so that to like open open up the most number of options. Are they going to kill that? Yep. Okay. If they tap out to play in search of peace, I get to drift off that thing, and then we're even. They can't easily remove it because they still can't event horizon it yet. I'm hoping that's what happens here. Borrow? Actually, I can just. Do I want to drift off that thing? I think I do. Because that it means that they don't have that thing as a blink target anymore. They're definitely planning something. And it's not like I have anything better to do. This many constances and nothing to help me ramp. Yeah, I think this game's going to go very poorly because unless I start top decking really well right now. I'm going to do this because I can't afford to just do nothing right now. I really need to start doing stuff. Best possible top deck would be something like Ulfaro because then that gets me one closer to my Constance mana. If they play In Search of Peace, right? Oh, they don't. Huh, interesting. I guess maybe they have some end step removal that they're planning to throw around. Still, I'm just still drawing lands. I mean, if all they're doing is also just doing nothing, I guess I'm in a fine spot. I would really prefer to actually draw some action though, so not a great draw. I think I kind of signed myself up for it. Huh, are they holding veto? They're probably holding a counter spell or removal. That's the only thing that makes sense right now. So like best case scenario is that they're still just holding a handful of answers, and I not even attacking. Interesting. Well, I mean, I technically will be able to hardcast 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, I have enough I have enough lands in hand to eventually hardcast these things. So my hope is that my opponent just takes forever to do everything, or just doesn't do anything for as long as possible, so that I mean, like, as soon as I start jamming these guys, things are not going to go very well for me, right? Because they're definitely going to have answers lined up. It's extremely obvious that, oh, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. They have nothing to blink right now. Interesting. Okay, what do I fetch? I want to fetch Island just so that Wildcourt Seeker so that Wildcourt Seekers in the future are bigger. Yeah, sure, why not? Well, I mean, as long as I match preserve my hand through all this, I'll be able to get a lot of costs. Well, they have. That's the problem with playing against a deck that has hand attack. Like if they have right now, if they have Phoenix's touch, no, they definitely don't have Phoenix's touch. If they had any, they would have played them way earlier. So what do they even have right now? Is it just literally a bunch of removal? Well, I mean, I did manage to make it to the late game, so and I'm like if it's just veto, I think I'm fine. Yeah. Yeah. Oh wait, veto only counters non-creature spells. What do they have that can that can like prevent Silverstone Ancient from resolving? I don't think they have anything that can do that. Do I care about colors? No, I have like all the colors I need. I'm just going to fetch extra forest because why not? All right. How are you going to prevent this from resolving? They have that. That actually is a huge problem because now they can just constantly. Okay, yeah, that is a problem. No wonder. I guess they had an entire handful of deceptions. Event Horizon on Boro. Okay, yeah. Well, that's not going well. So they can just permanently counter everything I do. Unless I get even more mana. Oh, they're going to find a discard outlive. They're going to find the discard thing eventually, and then that's just going to empty my entire hand. And that is, yeah. I sure hope they don't have the thing that they might have, I guess. That's really the only thing I can do now. Just hope they don't have it. Also, this is both my Silverstone Ancients, so Consonance can no longer hit Silverstone Ancients, which makes the creature part a little bit worse. It can still hit, I guess it can still hit Furical Hellions, right? I still have 4 of those left in my deck, so Furical might be able to come down and start blowing up some lands, although that doesn't do enough at this point. And they're going to animate and start attacking, okay. That's a pretty quick clock, right? It's 6 damage per turn. Yeah, that's not looking good for me. Well, I mean, like I am free to just keep jamming constances until something happens. Yeah, I should just jam spells every single turn, or else. I mean, it forces them to use up. No, they can't. No, they would have to cast their blink spells onto Omen Deception for. Then they blink there. Is that good? Still, like just forcing them to use their blink spells on Omen. I mean, it's not like I'm doing anything else with my mana, so yeah, might as well start jamming Silver Sons and I'll leave Constances for last. Okay, yep, they have that. Cool. And then that's some more jellyfish. I'm just dead in 2 turns. And there's not much I can do about that because my hand, I just drew all my high cost cards, which would usually be what my deck wants to do, but my opponent has counter spells, and I don't have any board presence right now, so I can't do anything about that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, I'm down to 2 life now, so it's not looking good for me. Maybe they are elf blink spells, and then I can eventually get through a I'm not sure how Consonance is going to actually use. So I need to flip something like a cassette plus Fury Call to blow up this, blow up that. Also flip Drift Off to get rid of In Search of Peace. I guess that's like one way I could get out of this. Well, I mean, it would be nice if this was on a tap land, so at least a single, so that they would at least require 2 Omen triggers to counter my things, but whatever. They have more redeploys? Cool. Yep, I'm done here. Alright, so this, bad matchup. I got like 3 reasonable matchups this GP. I can't complain too much. I mean, like my round 3, I got mastered round 3, so I guess I can complain about that. But I also got really lucky in my first 2 rounds because like there's no way this deck is actually good in this format. I mean, it's literally a standard deck that I submitted because I didn't have time to build the eternal version of this. Was there anything I mean, this game, there was just nothing I could do other than not keep that hand. I'm still going to argue that, like, this hand could be reasonable if I just top deck more mid-game. Because, like, if my opponent had a bunch of discard spells, I'm just going to start pitching these guys and keeping all the lands in hand. And then, assuming I, like, draw actual mid-game spells, I just play them out. And eventually I'll be in a spot where I have a lot of mana and also have an empty hand that's ready to top deck these big cards. Then I just didn't get that. Okay, so they were just stuck on a handful of removal and stuff. They had 2 redeploys. Okay, yeah, like if I drew an untap land there, I could have resolved 1 Consonance and then tried to see what's on top. Granted, I probably still would have lost. Well, what? They end of turn redeploy the Boro, or end of turn redeploy something, get another Boro blink, and then it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 jellyfish plus this thing, and I'm at 2. Wait, this thing's unblockable. Okay, so like I flip Fury Call Hellion plus cassette. I cassette this thing. I'm at 4. They have and then Drift Off kills that, and then I still need. So I guess Drift Off needs to kill 1 of the jellyfish, and then I'm probably still dead, but. Anyways, what was I saying? Yeah. Top deck and tap land, I still die because I don't have any things to blow up on my opponent's board. Asai doesn't help me either because I plus in that these guys are flying, yeah. And it was impossible for me to split more Silvertons because I lost both of them. What? Game 2, my opponent just got stuck on land and that's how I won. Yeah. I would have lost if they had more action, but okay, what about game 1? Was there a way for me to win that? Okay, so all the way up to here, it was pretty. Okay, so I guess I remember what I was saying was I should be playing out. I should be keeping Wildcourt over Asahai. Was there an opportunity for me to actually do that? Okay, so I drift off. Yeah, I think drift off was correct there because I definitely needed to get rid of that thing before my opponent went nuts with it. And then they just started making me discard. Okay, so like right now I could have pitched Asahai, right? I pitched the other Leyline Challengers and then I pitched. Yeah, so if I pitched Asahai instead, I play out. You know, I probably would have ran out Fury Call Hellion still. Like maybe there's an argument for if I kept Wildcourt, I Wildcourt over Fury Call. No, I don't think there's ever an argument for that. I think I'm always going to run out a Fury Call here just to blow up their thing. Maybe there is, like maybe I'm trying to play on removal, but then if I run out Wildcourt, like Fury Call is just going to get discarded, and I think having a Fury Call in play is still better than having a Wildcourt. She gets back 1 land. I mean, it puts me up 1 mana compared to before, but also my opponent's not down a mana, so like I think it's a watch mostly. Maybe it does like make some mana breakpoints worth for my opponent later on. Actually, I mean they have In Search of Peace. It probably did affect lofts. It probably did like make stuff worth for them later. So we deploy the top deck Drift Off. I keep Drift Off in hand. They haven't played out In Search of Peace yet, right? Okay, they play a Boro here. I guess like since Drift Off was already stuck in my hand for a turn, there wasn't really a reason to suspect that's going to get discarded again. Oh no, it's like really obvious it's going to get discarded. I mean, this kills all the jellyfish, and I could have played Drift Off here. Knowing what I know now, I probably should have jammed Drift Off because then it wouldn't get discarded. I guess so. I jammed Drift Off here. My opponent flashes an Omen of Deception because they're not doing anything else with the mana anyways, right? I think it's still a wash. Okay, I guess they crack Phoenix. So they flash an Omen over cracking Phoenix's touch. Or maybe they just don't bother with trying to stop Boro from getting exiled because like that doesn't really matter too much to them or something. Although they probably do blink in. Yeah, they probably do drop in Omen anyways because it's more things on board that they can blink with. Well, no, Omen doesn't actually synergize that well with In Search because it comes back on the end step. So at that point, In Search of Peace. Okay, and then that nukes my entire hand. Okay, so like they had counter spells. Okay, never mind. So Constance plan would have even if I could have cast Constance there, it still would have gotten countered. So yeah, that wouldn't have worked out. I mean, it gets like one Omen out of their hand. Not affect anything. It gets. I guess they lose one Boro. No, they don't even lose a Boro blink because Omen also triggers there. So then, yeah. So then, like they win either ways. I don't think there was a way for me to win this game then. But yeah, so that was my GP run. I mean, I did manage to get 2 wins playing a standard deck in an eternal format, so I can't complain too much. Maybe next time I'll actually try to get deck built before the event so that I can actually play an eternal deck instead of just trying to jam Constance from 2 years ago. But yeah,